Hey guys, Blake Calhoun here. Today's episode is a little bit different. It's the end of the year, and so I wanted to look back and pick my top 10 pieces of mobile filmmaking gear for 2019. Let's get into it. Just a quick heads up that all the product links and more detailed information about all the gear I mentioned in this list are available in a companion blog post I did on my website. Link is in the description. And I also did a podcast episode on this same topic. Definitely be sure to check those out for more commentary and information on these various products. Okay, so number 10, I'm picking the ULANZI DOF adapter. This one might be a little bit of a surprise to you guys who follow my channel routinely because I usually like to keep things simple. But if you want to add a more cinematic look and shallow depth of field to your image, this thing is pretty interesting, and it's only about $140. It is definitely the most affordable DOF adapter on the market. And so it's not something I would use all the time, but for certain projects, this thing is pretty darn cool. All right, my number 9 pick, the Sandmarc Hybrid ND filters. ND filters are always one of my top recommended accessories. If you want to shoot smartphone video that doesn't look like smartphone video, then you need an ND filter. And I'm specifically talking about shooting in bright conditions, and that means you'll have the proper motion blur. Now, admittedly, ND filters are not the most glamorous accessory, but I really believe they are one of the most important. Oh, and these ND filters are one of the only ones I found so far that actually work with the iPhone 11 Pro new lens system. All right, number 8, the Zhiyun Smooth Q2 gimbal. The original Smooth Q was one of my very first smartphone gimbals to own, and it was one of my favorite. I love the simplicity, and the gimbal really worked great. So when I heard Zhiyun was releasing this new Q2, I was definitely very interested. And this new version didn't disappoint. It is much different than the original, it's much more professional, and I would actually include this in the hybrid gimbal category. It doesn't hold a lot of weight, but its build quality is very professional grade, and its price is very affordable. Now, if you're looking for a similar gimbal that will hold more weight, such as a compact camera or a mirrorless camera, then you should definitely look at the Smooth Q's big brother, the Crane M2. Both these work with the iPhone 11 Pro ultra-wide lens, and they're just really excellent gimbals overall. My number 7 pick. This one came a little bit out of left field. Wasn't expecting this, but I'm glad it's here, and that is the Moondog Labs BAYONET mount anamorphic lens. More or less, this is a universal mount lens. It will work with Moment cases, Rhino Shield, and even Siru. I've always loved the look of the Moondog lens, but honestly I haven't used it as much because changing cases to use different lenses really isn't fun. But now with their new BAYONET mount, I'll be shooting with it a lot more. Number 6, and this one might be a little bit of a surprise for some of you, but it's the new Moment 14mm fisheye lens. Yeah, sure, if you have an iPhone 11, you can definitely use the ultra-wide lens, but I find in low light it does not perform very well. And so that's where a wide third-party lens like this comes into play. You attach it to the wide lens on your phone, which is faster. On the iPhone 11, it's an f1.8. Then you'll definitely get better results in low light for video and stills. So yes, I'm still a big proponent of third-party lenses, even with the iPhone 11. All right, number 5, now we're going to talk about sound. And this is 2 products from one company, and that is Rode. It's the Rode Wireless Go and the Rode Lavalier Go. This is an incredibly affordable wireless mic system. You really can't beat the bang for the buck. And the sound quality is excellent too. I use this mic routinely on my YouTube channel and on client work too. Beyond it being very affordable, it's also super easy to use. And it works with both smartphones and traditional cameras. This is a no-brainer to add to your filmmaking kit. Okay, number 4. I recently reviewed this product, and that is the SHOULDERPOD G2. The original SHOULDERPOD was, and probably still is, my all-time favorite tripod mount and grip. The only knock on it was that it didn't have a cold shoe on top. Well, now the G2 solves that as it has 6 cold shoes, and it's much more professional. This thing is completely different, really, than the S1. And truthfully, they're both still excellent, and each will have a place in my kit. The G2 is a much larger device and geared more towards professional use, especially for mobile journalism or more involved shoots. It has excellent build quality and is definitely something I recommend. All right, number 3, now we're looking at lighting. And often when I think of lighting these days, I think of Aputure. And their new AL-MC light is really great. The original AL-M9 is one of my very favorite portable lights, and this new MC version just takes it to the next level. You have RGB controls and lighting effects, all in a very compact package and for under $100. You really just can't beat these small Aputure lights. And now number 2 on my list, we're looking at another gimbal. Yes, there are lots of gimbals in the market. Really, there's a new one it seems like every month. But this one stood out for a lot of reasons, and that is the DJI Osmo Mobile 3. The Osmo Mobile 2 is one that I use quite a bit, and now with their newer version, they refined it and made it better. It's easy to use, it folds up, and it's affordable. So the Osmo Mobile 3 is just another one of those devices that can add a lot of production value to your next shoot for not a lot of money. Okay, now we've reached the top spot here. Can you guess what it is? Do you have an idea? My number 1 pick for 2019 of mobile filmmaking gear is the iPhone 11 Pro ultra-wide lens. The iPhone 11 Pro itself is a great phone, but the reason I'm really picking it is for the ultra-wide lens. Now I realize you can't really separate the two, but the ultra-wide lens does not have OIS, so now as filmmakers we can move the camera around, use it on dollies. We don't get the wobbly jello effect. And the lens has amazing image stabilization. Now I'm talking software image stabilization here, along with it being a super wide lens that already smooths things out. I use the ultra wide lens a lot more than I ever thought I would, so that's why it's my top pick of 2019. Now remember to check out my blog post, the link is in the description, and I also did a podcast on this top 10 list, and in both those I go into a lot more detail about each pick. Oh, and by the way, in that blog post and the podcast, I also have an honorable mention list. There was really just too many innovative, cool products to only include 10, so be sure to check that out. So what do you think? Do you agree with my picks? Disagree? What did I forget? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This is Blake Calhoun. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.